Anyway, welcome. Hi. So for today, one of my special gifts from me to you is going over a list I made at work about the 28 things I've learned in my 28 years of life. The first one I was talking about when you guys showed up was trust your gut and talk to someone. For anyone who doesn't know, I have an anxiety disorder, so I always have this trust your gut kind of mentality. It's an important thing. It's one of the first things that came to mind when I wrote this list, because I was like, you gotta trust your gut. The second one I wrote, eat more fruits and vegetables. It's so important. More fruits and veggies in your diet. And that's not just because I'm a vegan. I am a vegan. I will be 6 years vegan this November, actually. But that's nothing to do with it, actually. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of things on here that are just like general self-care and general health things. But eat more fruits and vegetables. It's important. And that's something I wish I did, especially when I was younger. Anywhere from child to now that I needed more vegetables. The third one, energy drinks is not water. A lot of people I know love energy drinks. And I am somebody, especially in high school, I can recall drinking countless cans of Monster and Red Bull, and it's not water. It's not. Go drink water. Please go drink water. Number 4, anything is worth the struggle, especially when you have a story afterwards. I have a lot of life stories, and those who know me and know close know that to be true. Okay, number 5. Regularly call your parents and siblings. That one's underrated to me. I do not call my parents and siblings enough. I really don't. I understand that a big part of relationships and communication starts with your parents and your siblings, and it's really important to kind of keep in touch with them and stuff. And a lot of my family, for instance, on my dad's side, he's lost a lot of communication with a lot of people. And you know what? Tell your mom and dad that you love them. If it's not something that is manageable, because I know some people have problems. Holy crap. I know some people have problems with their families. Don't worry about it then. Number 6, tell someone where you're going. That's a good one. Tell someone where you're going. This one's really important. Always have your phone on you. Always have it charged. Always have a portable charger. Stay connected to the grid. Please tell someone where you're going, even if it's just down the street. Honestly, in my experience, I've had a cell phone since I was in grade school, and that was because of a necessity, but it's always important to let someone know where you're going. Number 7, nobody is forcing you to get too into work. Make sure you have time to relax and unplug. That one's really important. Nobody's forcing you to get too into work, and make sure you have time to relax and unplug. I wrote this one because today I was constantly worrying about how insane the summer has been and how driven with mad desire I have been to get all of my job done this summer, because if you guys don't know, I'm a custodian. I clean schools for a living. So we clean all the furniture, strip the floors, wax the floors, do all the things, and it's a lot of work. And it took about 5 weeks to get everything done, and now that we're at the end of the year, or the summer I should say, we're done. And now it's time to relax and reap the benefits. Number 8. How you talk to people is very impactful. Speech is so important, and you don't think it's important. And I've learned this, especially learning about nonviolent communication. There was a huge thing a couple of years ago that I got really into, where there was I can't remember who it's by, but there's a book called Nonviolent Communication, and there's a workbook that goes with it. And you just kind of learn how to talk to people a little bit more gently, with not like in tone of voice, not like, hi, how are you? Not like that. More like, if there's an issue, let's work on this together and let's communicate. And communication is really important. How you talk to people is important. Friends and coworkers and partners. Let me do a quick side note, that I really do truly believe at the bottom of my heart that the way that you were taught to speak and write and act and hold yourself together comes back to you in waves. And what I've noticed is how I hold myself and how I present myself to the world. And I do a lot of reflection. It's all the brain does these days. It's kind of crazy to just constantly think about these points and seeing that a lot of these are communication, parents, siblings, and just kind of thinking like, wow, I need to like work on this myself. And you know, honestly, I would love to get back into nonviolent communication again. Maybe one day. It's a lot. It's like a whole, it feels like a college course because it has like everything, everything. It's crazy. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. Number 9, music can help pull you through a lot of shit. Music helps a lot of things. And if you're a person like me who needs sound in the background, even if you're just like doing mundane tasks or just kind of sitting there, I always have music on. I always have music on. And one of the things that I really enjoy is how people can communicate their emotions and how they feel through songs and sharing music, and how we can convey how we feel through music. And honestly, it holds a lot of, I was gonna say emotion, nostalgia for people. It holds a lot of everything. Music is the universe. It really is. Number 10, brush your teeth daily. Oh my gosh, that's such a big one. And I was thinking about going to the dentist because Anu has a dentist appointment soon. And I was like, you know what? Brush your teeth. Okay, brush your teeth daily. It's so important. Number 11, life isn't a race, and be young in your heart. I really, really resonate with this one, especially since my brother told me this recently when he came up to visit. It's so underrated, being youthful in your heart, being full of love and being full of energy and all of these things. And I think we take our age for granted. We really do. And just because you're mid-20s, early 20s, late 20s, whatever you are, honestly, if you feel young in your heart, that's what matters. And that's how I feel. And honestly, I feel like because I was expected to grow up so fast, I think a lot of us are going through phases, and you might even experience this now, or you might have in the past, where we feel like we have to act out and we have to experiment with makeup and clothes and streaming and games and just, you know, get it out of your system. And I feel like if you find ways to kind of express yourself and how you are on the inside, I feel like you're doing something right. If I could tell my like teenage self that, I would have. She would have loved to see like this. She wanted this back then, you know? And it's the least I can do. Number 12, start saving a few dollars from paychecks and don't touch it. Oh my gosh, if I think about this constantly. If I would have saved like 50 bucks from every paycheck in the last 10 years, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I just put money aside? I don't know. This is your sign. Okay, if you need a sign to say save money or squirrel away $10 or $5, do it. You never know when you're gonna need it. You never know when you need emergency transportation, a taxi, an Uber, a city bus. You don't know if you need like bread and peanut butter at the gas station at 2 a.m. because you don't have food. You need cash. You need quick cash. Save some for yourself. You're allowed to. You're actually supposed to put money aside for you first and then divvy up in your bills. Apparently that's how it's supposed to go, but what do I know? I'm no financial manager. Okay, I'm not a financial manager. Okay, number 13. Our favorite number, because today is the 13th. Be faithful, but not fall into spiritual psychosis. This one I was thinking about. I don't talk about religion or faith on my page, but I know a lot of people who do believe in a greater power. Spiritual psychosis is something that's really interesting, and I highly recommend you look on YouTube of all places and look into TikTok and spiritual psychosis and analysis of these things and really understand what it's like going too far. Because I have fallen into spiritual psychosis a couple of times and back in the day. To know where you need to draw the line for faith and belief is really, really important. So that's kind of like why I wrote it. Number 14. Calendars, to-do lists, and schedules for everything. Everything. Get a whiteboard. Write things down. Get a notepad. Write things down. Get your phone. Write things down. I'm telling you, if you don't take advantage of a pen and paper and write down everything you can. Trust me, you're gonna feel so good when you see a nice big list and you're like, yes, it's awesome. And then you can check things off and do the thing, and it's great and it's awesome. I love scheduling things out and figuring out like what I need to do, or like to-do lists. Like even in video games like Stardew Valley, I've been making lists upon lists upon lists upon lists about what I gotta do, who do I gotta talk to, what missions I gotta, like everything's written down. Clock things in your calendar. Do it. It's important. Number 15, go to your doctor's office regularly and get a checkup. It's so important. Every 6 months, June, December, something like that. If you can afford it, go for it. If you can't, don't worry about it, okay? If you're fine, you're fine. Regular doctor visits are so important. I have not had a doctor. I have to think about this. I think it's been about 13 years. I have not had a doctor, like a practitioner, in so long. And I regret that so bad. You would think that I would have a doctor up here in Canada where we have free healthcare and we have the benefit of doing stuff like that. But unfortunately, I don't have. You know how much my parents just chew me out all the time? They're like, go to a doctor. I'm like, I don't have one. Go to see a doctor. Get your blood tested. Go check your vitals. Go make sure you're okay. Okay. Number 16. Go for that walk. Oh my gosh. If I had a nickel for every time if I had a nickel for every time that I was like, I want to go for the walk, and then I don't, just go for a walk. If you're in a safe area, safe neighborhood, you can do that thing. Do the thing. Go for a walk. You won't regret it. Walking is really good for you anyway. And if you need time away from your PC, I think it's a really good idea that you develop a habit of going for a walk, maybe once a week. I started going on walks because I needed time away from my computer and the hustle and bustle of streaming and the hustle and bustle of work. And luckily for me, I'm able to get thousands of steps at work, but it's really beneficial, honestly. And I highly recommend you look into it because it's a good idea. Number 17, you'll always hate how you look. Try different things. There's always a sense of never quite satisfied. You're not a Kardashian. You're not Kylie. Okay, we're not snatched to the gods. We have to realize a big part of that is surgeries and medical procedures and medication. And the rich have access to everything they could ever imagine. You're never going to be satisfied 100%. And I want you to know that's okay. A lot of us suffer from something called body dysmorphia, where we don't feel right in our bodies. And a lot of us are non-binary or gender fluids or, you know, whatever. We're very, very fluid. A lot of us are, especially in my community. And a lot of us don't feel comfortable in being in our body. Your body will change. Your body will change over time. If you're young and you're watching, you are going to feel and experience this over and over and over again all the time. Sometimes for weeks, sometimes for years at a time. And it's very hard on your system and it's hard on your minds. And I want you to remember to try and do something that makes you feel good. Put on makeup. Wear fancy clothing. Be a mall goth for a day. Do it. What's holding you back? Even if you take a picture for yourself, you're still doing something for yourself. And it feels very silly and it feels very wrong. And you will always feel silly and you will always feel wrong. But that's okay because I feel that way all the time. I'm so insecure. And the way that I want to express myself, I feel like I have to null myself down because the job that I work doesn't quite allow self-expression to an extreme degree. If I go into work like this, they're going to be like, what do you... Take that off, please. It's not practical. But I know what I want to try and do this year for work, for example, because I want to feel comfortable in my body. I want to eat healthy. I want to get more sleep. I want to go on more walks, maybe get a doctor, wear makeup and have fun and really discover what it is to be 29 and really just figure out what it is that I want to be. You don't know what you want to be. That's okay, because I don't know what I want to be. Some people up until their 80s don't know what they want to be. You're not falling behind. You're really not. I wish I could tell my younger self this, because I feel like she would also need to hear all of this, actually. Let's see. Number 18. Breathing when you're angry can help in the moment. This was a tip from my therapist actually, and especially for somebody who has mental health conditions, ADHD, autism, ADD, bipolar, BPD, PTSD, like literally anything. It's a really smart thing to breathe, okay? Learn how to breathe properly. Learn how singers breathe, how people in metal bands scream and breathe, and breath control, and learn these things. Learn yoga breath. Learn what it is to feed your body oxygen and feed your brain, and to constantly have to keep yourself in check. It's hard, and it's really hard. And I can't guarantee that you're going to remember to breathe all the time. And if I could tell myself this, I'd say, you know what? There's like that necklace you can get, and it looks like a straw, but it's supposed to help you breathe really slow. I want that so bad. Have y'all ever been like so mad you're like, I will destroy the earth and the stars to make sure you feel pain? You ever get that white hot rage? I have been there. I have been in white hot rage before, and the only thing that my therapist has told me at that point was, Mystic, breathe. Eehoo. Eehoo. Okay, breathe. Breathing is really important for you, and I highly recommend that you learn how to breathe properly. Posture is everything. Okay, don't be shrimping so much. Sit up straight, sit up tall, breathe. Fill up your belly first, and then the top of your lungs, and then slowly release everything after that. Number 19, you're never too old to learn a new skill. You will constantly learn new things. If you are anything like me, you love learning new things. You love being like a jack of all trades. I love learning different equipments and how things work and techniques. For example, cooking or cleaning. There's hair in my eye. Love that for me. But anything that requires hands-on experience or knowledge that could help in the future, I'm all about it. I love that kind of stuff. But you're never too old to learn something new. Number 20, do something good every day for someone. And I was specifically thinking about opening a door for somebody or being kind, you know, polite manners. Do something good for somebody. I really like this one because I feel like I want to say neutral good. Where am I on the scale of D&D? I don't know, but I like to try and do something for somebody every day, whether it's, you know, my partner on Otaku, or it's one of you guys, or trying to just, you know, reach out and talk to somebody and being an anchor for someone. And it matters. It really does. At the end of the day, it really does add up over time. Number 21, invest in good hygiene products. It's great for you. You need to smell good. You want to feel good in your body. You want nice hair. You gotta wash yourself. Do it. Invest in the good stuff. Invest in mouthwash if you can. And it's money, yes. And treat yourself every now and then. Go the extra mile. Get that soap that you love. That's special smell soap. Oh, that shampoo that smells good. Do it. Actually, there's a shampoo that Anu uses that I use for myself because it smells so good. Anyway, I was also thinking about I don't know. Okay, all of the women and women identifying people in the community, have we all heard the things about like tampons and pads lately? Please listen, lead is dangerous for the body, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you have TikTok, if you have YouTube, go check it out. Go check it out. Feminine hygiene products and lead. Is anything safe? Is anything sacred? What are we supposed to do? Anyway, number 22, know when it's time to quit. I love this one because I was thinking about my past experiences as a custodian, and know when it's your time to go. A big part of that, I was reflecting back on my first ever job. Mystic once was a person who worked at a fish and chip shop. Unfortunately, with the way that I was graduating high school in a couple weeks at that point, they wanted me to run the entire store by myself because their two other coworkers ended up having to do something in the summer. That's why they were hiring, and I didn't know that. And I was expecting a completely different experience. Me now, I know exactly what's going on with that store. They shut down real quick after I left. Exactly, Yokai. I totally agree. It's kind of freaky to think about when we go back to the hygiene products and the feminine hygiene products. It's like, did you know? Can I just be a little, like, this is a little much. I know that. But did you know that they just started, like scientists just started using like red liquids and blood for testing products? Because every time else they would use blue, they started using that like last year. We've been practicing modernized feminine hygiene for 100 years, and you're just telling me now you're using red? I swear. I have water. If you need to hydrate, now is the time to consider doing so. This is your reminder to take any medication that you need. You are worth the time it takes to take care of yourself in 2024. That's the motto here on our channel this year. So, sippy sippy. Sippy sippy, back to the weather. It's rated sideways. You know, sippy sippy, you know where I got that from? Do you guys remember a YouTuber named Graveyard Girl? I love Bunny so much. I love her vibe. I love her energy. I always wanted her hair so much. I love her so much. She's on, she still produces videos, and she's on TikTok now. She's awesome. And if you don't know who that is, Graveyard Girl on YouTube. Shout out to Graveyard Girl. She doesn't know me. That's okay. Number 23. Look into Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Shout out to Lily of the Lake. If you're listening right now, girl, I love you. I put this on my list because of you, and specifically, the Maslow hierarchy of needs is something that you should consider if you have mental health struggles. This will bring you back to the basics, the very basics. Safety, shelter, food, security, water. How you doing? Are you stressed out? Did you know you can take a step back? That's basically what the hierarchy of needs is. Preach it. I love it. Look it up. It's amazing. Exactly. Lily, thank you so much for rekindling that inspiration and being a part of my list. And it will always, always be with me. Always. Number 24. You'll always have a chance to be humble or to humble someone else. I love this one. It made it to the list. I was watching Hell's Kitchen, and I essentially was like, you know what? Gordon really likes to humble people, and I feel like some people need to be yelled at and talked to because, you know, their attitudes are just absolute garbage. I wrote that down because I was thinking of Gordon Ramsay. You'll always have a chance to humble someone or be humbled. I was going to write something along the lines in this particular segment of my list of look into what the ego is. If you want to get lost in a never-ending circle of research, look into the ego. I'm telling you as well. Dream, look at this message. I'm telling you, I love Gordon Ramsay. I love Bar Rescue. I love things like that. It's been carrying me through the summer because I am forever ingrained in the kitchen industry. I love cooking. I love serving, bartending, all that kind of stuff. That stuff is fun. But yeah, no, that show gives me great comfort, and I don't know why. And if I ever met him, I'd probably like cry. If I could make him anything, I'd probably do like, I'd probably do like Polish cabbage rolls, like guamki. Oh my gosh, I wish I had my grandma's recipe, but she passed away a long time ago and I don't have the recipe, so I will always remember it in my head. Also, they're not vegan. Struggles. Big struggles. But I would probably cook him Polish cabbage rolls, guamki. Yeah, that's what I would do. Number 25. Save your text messages. This is what I learned from Judge Judy. Actually, one of the ways that she and her ex-husbands had proof of their relationship and the strain on their relationship was because she saved text messages from years ago. Save them. Save your text messages. I know it looks crazy in your inbox. Save your messages. You never know when you're gonna need them. It's kind of like jumper cables for your car. You never know when you're gonna need jumper cables. Number 26. Tattoos last forever. Get what represents the best of you. You always see these things on TikTok, like tattoos are forever, and then somebody gets something really cool or whatever. But if you don't have any tattoos and you've always wanted one, and you don't have any tattoos and you're thinking about one, or you have one and you want more, or you have a bunch and you want more, what about this tattoo represents you? Because you know what? You can get something stupid. A lot of people have a lot of stupid tattoos, and that's fine. But for your first tattoos, or your first, like, I'd say 10 tattoos, make it really special. Don't get someone's name on you. That's a really good idea as well. I have 2 names on me. I have my cat and my dog. They both passed away. My dog passed away when I was about 13. Yeah, I was 13, and then my cat passed away last year. And when I was 18, 10 years ago, crazy to say, I got that tattoo. And it's right up there. 27. We're almost done. Okay, ready? Pets are okay, just not people. It's kind of crazy because my cat's name was Tobias, and I had a teacher in high school named Miss Tobias. Shout out to Miss Tobias, my home ec teacher. She freaked out because she's like, that's not about me, is it? I'm like, no. It's just a coincidence. My cat's name is Tobias. Your name is Tobias. It's not the same thing. I promise you. She was like, that's creepy. I'm like, it's not. It's not what it is. Number 27. This comes from my grandma. Everything in moderation, even depression. Don't stay too long. You know when they say like, do yoga, it cures cancer? It's kind of like that vibe. Everything in moderation. I'm not talking about drugs. I'm not talking about alcohol. I'm talking about the regular things of life, okay? Do not go... Mystic does not condone you excessively drinking or doing drugs or nothing, okay? That is not what I represent here. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. No. Don't do that to yourself. Also, if you're underage, you shouldn't be drinking or doing drugs. Don't do that. Your brain is still developing. I was stupid in my youth. I have a very creative background. Honestly, the best thing, if I could go back in time and just be like, don't touch that. Don't touch that. I'd tell you that too. Don't touch it. Everything in moderation. And the last one for today, number 28. Allow yourself a chance to just exist. To cry, to laugh, and to take up space. It's really important. I like that one because nobody's gonna give you a chance to have space. You gotta create it for yourself. When you grow up, I've got some youngins in here. When you grow up, it is so difficult. It's only gonna get more difficult and it's not gonna stop. Make space for yourself because nobody's gonna do it for you, babe. Nobody.